From Washington after negotiating just a 1% reduction in America's tariff on Philippine goods. U.S. President Trump praised him as a tough negotiator and close ally, but had unflattering words for Marcos Jr.'s predecessor. Katrina Domingo is in Washington with tonight's top story.
After President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump in the White House, the Philippines was able to reduce U.S. tariffs, but only by 1 percentage point. Despite the two nations being called allies, data from the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative show that the trade deficit between Manila and Washington has ballooned to over $4.9 billion in 2024, which is some 20% higher than the deficit in 2023. In May 2025, the U.S. remained as the Philippines' top export market, but it lagged behind China and 5 other territories in terms of imports to the Philippines.
Now, 1% might seem like a very small concession. However, when you put it in real terms, it is a significant achievement.
In exchange for that 1 percentage point reduction in tariffs, the Philippines imposed a zero tariff policy for automobiles from the United States. Marcos Jr. says discussions are still underway for other U.S. commodities that may be included in the zero tariff policy.
The other side of that is an increased importation from the United States for soy products, wheat products, and pharma, actually, medicines, para makamura naman yung maging mas mura yung gamot natin.
Trump described trade negotiations with the Philippines as very tough.
He's a very tough negotiator. So far we're not there because he's negotiating too tough. In fact, I used to like him better than I do now. He's too tough.
Despite discrepancies in the Philippines and U.S. trade, Trump warmly welcomed Marcos Jr. in the White House, saying that the incumbent Philippine president is respectable, while dropping several jabs against the Philippines' last administration.
I think I can say that the last administration was not getting along with them too well. They didn't get along with anybody. They didn't know. Honestly, they didn't know what they were doing.
Trump did not mention names, but it can be recalled that Manila pivoted away from its traditional allies with Washington during the term of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Duterte forged closer ties with China after the Obama administration criticized alleged human rights abuses in his drug war. Duterte had also made headlines for threatening to scrap the Mutual Defense Treaty between the Philippines and the United States after Washington reportedly revoked the visa of one of his allies. Under the current administration, Manila and Washington enjoyed cozier ties, with Marcos and Trump confirming plans to establish a U.S.-funded ammunition hub in Subic.
We're going to have all the speedy missiles. We'll have the speedy ones, the slow ones, the accurate ones, the ones that are slightly less accurate. We have everything. But we will have more ammunition than any country has ever had.
This is actually, the United States is assisting the Philippines in what we call our self-reliance defense program. The reason that we have encouraged more interaction with the United States is because it is necessary by the U.S.
Philippine Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro says the proposed Subic hub plans to hire 200 to 300 specialized workers. But officials expect the project to generate more jobs and commerce in the area. When asked if the Philippines should be wary of a potential pushback from China over the stationing of munitions in a strategic port area, Marcos Jr. had this to say.
The infrastructures, military infrastructures, and the programs that we are initiating will make us a target for China. Are we not already a target for China? So I think that what we have to be thinking about is protecting the Philippines.
This is not the first time that Manila and Washington reiterated its ironclad commitment in its strategic partnership. What the public wants to see next are the concrete actions, projects, and policies that will come out of this meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Philippine President Marcos Jr. Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN News, Washington.